Hi guys, the economy is down. What are you supposed to do? Check out what Randall Johnson has to say. Hi guys, before we begin this video, we'd like to invite you to Icon 2018.
Icon 2018 in Davao. First time we're going to Davao. It's October 13th at SMX. You can check the links and please try to join us in Icon 2018 Davao.
So we'll have Rex
First ever,
Mendoza,
first
Dodong
ever.
Canando,
Rex Mendoza, Dodong Kakanando, the one and only Marvin Guillermo. Ako extra lang. I'm just gonna intro.
and we'll have
and
4
one
other
more,
speakers
more.
for the event.
So what they expect in Manila, they can now expect in Davao.
Alright, so that's it. Bye everyone.
Bye-bye. Hello. Bakit muna ako? Siyempre, it's always an honor and a privilege to be with the video guy himself.
No. So, inflation's at 5.5%.
5.7.
5.7%.
Yes.
You have GDP at 6%. You have interest rates up at 4%.
Going up.
Then you have the reserve, US dollar reserves down from 80 billion to 77 billion US dollars.
And peso dollar hindi naging-improve.
Peso dollars going up. Then you have a lot of tensions abroad.
A double deficit.
Double deficit. Is the Philippines in trouble?
We're not in trouble. I mean, that's very clear, no? Alam mo, I like to look at it, no? Yes, bumaba ang growth rate, tumaas ang inflation. These things are, hindi mo natin pwede sabing normal, but these things happen because economies will always be in a cycle. And that's something that's gonna happen. Could have been prevented? Yes, I think it could have been managed well. Timing is an issue. Pero these things happen, and ito sa Filipino naman, di ba, we've experienced this, lalo na ako, dahil I'm a little bit older than Marvin.
How many years?
Maybe 2 to 3 years or 2 to 3 decades. So basically these things happen, and we've survived the worst. No? So things are happening, they're both external and internal, and that's gonna happen. Pero yung statement natin, are we in trouble? No, we're not. I mean, we're not moving as fast. Ito lang yan, Marvin. Kung may anak ka na laging grade 95, umuwi sa'yo, 90 na lang. Diba? Is he in trouble? He may be disappointed, but he probably will not be in trouble. Diba?
But
remember, we're coming on generational average of 4% growth. We're still at 6.
okay, but with the reserve requirement or reserve ratio going down, isn't that something to be alarming
Again,
already? That naglalabas na sila ng dollars sa pangsalo sa atin?
I think what you need to understand is that where we're coming from, our reserves were never that big before. It just so happened in the last few years, we were able to increase it substantially to a point na actually sabi nga nila sumobra na yung reserve natin. And that's something. So now, because of what's happening right now, we have to defend the peso. And then, this is an impact of a growing economy, no? We really need more dollars today. So talagang maapektuhan yan. Apektuhan talaga yan.
So
So now,
okay,
is it in a trouble? It's still in a comfortable level. Parang lang yung GDP natin. It's not in an alarming level. It may not be something that we're used to, pero ganyan talaga eh.
Pero you said that we're not anymore a consumption-driven economy. Kasi I always tell people, what's
yan.
protecting us is because Filipinos spend
Yes.
buhay economy. So you're saying that we're not anymore
Well,
there?
it's not where it was before. Consumption has gone down. If you look at the GDP, no, sorry, the economically speaking, so the GDP component, medyo nauunahan. Mas maganda na yung nagiging trajectory ni manufacturing, So that's a natural. But now, to say that we're not a consumption-driven economy, maybe a little bit siguro inaccurate, no? Kasi ano naman tayo we're always going to be consumers, a lot of Filipinos. Pero kumbaga, hindi na siya kamukha ng dati na talagang siya yung nagda-drive ng GDP natin. You need to understand how the GDP is being computed.
So how is it, for those who don't know anything about economics, what is the GDP? How is it computed in 30 seconds? Or
Well,
what
basically, you look at the components within the GDP. Siyempre, andyan ang consumption, andyan ang agri, andyan ang infra, andyan ang investments, and manufacturing. These things are part of it. Ang medyo magandang nagda-drive sa atin ngayon is investments and manufacturing. Well, agri is a little bit better. Ang consumption naman dumaba. And of course, yung infra, hindi pa natin na-experience eh. So wala pa yung component na yan. And kaya nga sabi ko, it could have been prevented by coming up with the infra earlier, then it could have offsetted all of these things.
So it's a false notion that parang we really haven't seen infra boom yet. Kasi a lot of people are saying na infra boom na. So it's not yet, we're not yet there.
The infra is, the structure is there. Siyempre, iba yung structure yan, iba pa yung actually na-execute mo. Parang may budget ka na, pero hindi mo pa nabibili. Gets mo yun? Parang hindi mo pa siya na-effect. So, yan yung naging. So, the infra that we're hiring is from the infra from the past eh. So, the new infra is not yet coming in. So, ngayon pa lang, kasi ngayon mo pala naman na-execute yung train mo, ngayon pala kinukolekta. So, kumbaga, yan ang naging problema. Plus, there are some problems, no? The shifting away from PPP becomes a little bit of the contention. Tapos yung issue pa nangyari kasi all this much publicized China support, wala pa eh.
Wala pa talaga materialize na doon.
Wala pa nagpa-materialize sa mga China supposed to be things. So medyo, were we taking for a ride? Too early to say, but maybe a little bit we were. Or, sobrahan lang ng PR. Kasi pag PR yun ang problema eh.
So ito, the GDP dropped because consumption dropped. Is it safe to say that inflation caused it na mas nagmahal lahat? People have a hard time parang
I think
spending.
what happened here is because of the perceived inflation, people slowed down consumption. I think normal yan sa atin ng mga tao, no? Dahil alam mo, nagmamahal ang bilihin. Dalawang mangyayari, either you hoard or you slow down. Magtipid ka ng konti, magbawas ka ng spending, and you will see these things happening to all of us. So the consumption has slowed down because of kasi ganun yun eh, kitipid ka in all these things. And
pero hindi ba siya cost na hindi dahil nagtipid pero dahil nagtaas ng presyo?
Hindi, dahil nagtaas ng presyo, then of course kasi di ba tumaas din naman the tax breaks naman allowed us for more income, ano? So parang medyo nag-offset, and in a way that's kasi alam mo, Marvin, at the end of the day, behavioral pa rin to, no? It's not, we can forecast, we can see it, but really, actual experience may be a little bit different. Kaya nga nobody saw the 6.8 to 6.7 na consensus, naging 6, hindi nila nakita yun, ano? Because ang dami nangyayari. Hindi nila nakita na ang Pinoy pala magto-slow down ng consumption. Nakala nila magtutuloy-tuloy. Pero human nature yan eh. Diba? Nagmamahal ang bilihin, tipid muna tayo, let's not do it, or we can't afford as much, no? So, kunyari, like, kakwento ka, tumaas yung Meralco bill mo. So, may tendency ka na,
grabe, Meralco.
Babawiin mo yung ano mo sa ibang consumption mo, magbabawas ka. So, pwedeng hindi mo na kakain sa labas, or magbabawas ako. So, those things can always, and of course, on a national scale, may impact siya.
So, eto, part of that also that inflation went up because a lot of them are fuel-related.
Isa pa yun.
Nagtaas yung fuel.
Ang dalawang component para makita mo is tumaas ang fuel and tumaas ang bigas. So pag nakita mo, yung fuel tsaka bigas, ang laking component yan sa pamilya, sa consumption ng isang Pilipino.
So sagot ba mag-keto para wala ng bigas? But then,
mas mahal ang gulay.
Mas mahal ang gulay.
Mas mahal ang karne, no? So,
tama
kaya yung problema.
din.
Siyempre, bigas, problema natin, yung consumption natin ng bigas, hindi naman nababawasan. Pero yung supply natin nababawasan. So really, there's really a disconnect with our supply and our consumption. So growing Filipino, we have growing market, so medyo hindi nakakasabay yung production
But my question is this, fuel is up, kaya nagtaasan lahat, pero the problem with that is there's a projection that ngayon ang fuel is at around $70 a barrel.
Yes.
There's a projection that it can hit 100 next year, and then the dollar is also high. Then you have the train excise tax on oil still there.
Plus bigas.
Will it peg inflation to be higher for next year pa?
Well, everybody's saying that consensus na yan, the inflation will remain high for the coming quarters. So really, kaya nga ang sasabi natin dito, what can you do to minimize the impact of inflation? Belt tightening, be a little bit judicious, how to increase your income. These things are part. Talaga nangyayari yan, Marvin, no? Marvin, bata pa, no? Hindi ka pa naka-experience sa mga na-experience namin inflation. But, kasi I'm 2 years older, no? So, alam mo yun, gets mo yun, talagang mag-a-adjust talaga yan. So, sabi ko nga, Marvin, ang issue natin, magkatikit na yung GDP growth natin.
Sa inflation.
Ang nipis na lang ng margin. And that, for me, is a cause for concern. But, that's life. We will deal with it as they come.
So, eto pa.
May solution ako eh.
Ano solution?
Dasal talaga.
Dasal.
Sabi nga ni Alma
Moreno, dasal lang talaga.
Yeah.
So, eto pa.
When everything else fails, prayer works.
Prayer works.
Oh, really. Honestly, we continue to pray for the nation, for the economy, for the leader, for the president, for the Congress. That's something that every Filipino should be focusing on. Because that's something you can control eh.
Anong pagdadasal mo sa presidente?
Ha?
Anong gusto pagdasal sa presidente?
Siyempre, to always stay within God's will. Alam mo, diba, the safest place is always in the center of God's will. Yan ang importante makalimutan. Kasi ako naniniwala naman ako, the Lord appointed him there. So again, that's something that he needs to be reminded. Whether he believes or not, I don't know. But God is sovereign.
So my question is this, because you projected that inflation will continue to go up, hence,
Or not go up, but remain high.
hence, will interest rates also go up? So interest rates going up, it's not good for the stock market. Kasi ako, lalagay na lang ako sa bonds kasi I get
Yes.
my passive
Bonds.
income for life eh.
Active bonds bababa, di ba?
And then, I mean, if you're
Yung
trading
interest-
it, pero,
interest rate, yeah.
pero if I want the fixed income for life, if I get a
Here's the
return
thing
of
that
10,
you need to
11%, okay.
I think which a lot of people don't understand monetary policy alone cannot actually be as effective in curtailing inflation in the long run. It has to be a combination of legislative, executive, and then all these things. It's something has to be done in a concerted effort. Ang problema natin sa Pilipinas, it seems to be, hindi tayo nag-uusap-usap as a nation. Everybody has their own agenda. Yan ang nagiging problema natin. So, we need to in a way, if it needs to be, temper a little bit of train for the meantime. I don't know. That's
Is train law the biggest culprit?
Hindi actually kasi train ngayon pala na mag-i-impact yan eh. I think it's really more behavior. I think the perception that things are gonna go up tend to have driven the prices up further. Kasi minsan, di ba, may hoarding mentality rin tayo at the same time. So again, the more you hoard, like bigas, the more you hoard, the more it goes up. Kasi di ba, kunyari, ang consumption ko 2 to 3 kilos na. Dahil mahal ang bigas, 5 kilos ka. So again, it drives the price up and again, everything is connected. So may mga ganung factor tayo na we have to consider as well.
So, as of this point, there's really no catalyst putting the markets up. Especially for your followers who invest in equity funds. Down ng equity funds ngayon, negative as compared to where we were at the start of the year. Should they be alarmed? Should they just stay in cash or
Sa akin,
invest in cryptocurrencies
sa akin,
instead?
go back to your objectives. I've always, and I've been open about this, Marvin is a trader, I'm not, I'm an investor. I've always looked at it from a long-term perspective. In the long run, it pays off to still continue to invest according to objectives. Example, mataas nga ang market ngayon, but do you think that the market will not be better 5 years from now? It will be. So you're still in a better position. Again, if you are investing according to your objectives, that is consistent with your risk appetite, and at the same time, not just appetite but your capacity, then you're gonna be okay. So that's how I view things. I've invested, Marvin, in the worst times.
But
And yet I was still able to
does
recover.
it actually mean that in 5 years' time, the economy is better already? We will be better off 5 years from now than where we
The
are?
economy is better. I mean, I have to be careful. The economy today, especially from my perspective, is in a way better situation than where it was 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
Like I said, my analogy is, parang nga anak natin yan. Nasanay lang tayo sa 95, ngayon 90 na lang, nagreklamo tayo. But 90 is still a good, is still way above. We're still growing ahead of our neighbors. We're still number 3 last quarter. Diba? I mean, next to China and Vietnam. So, it doesn't mean that we're in a bad situation. It's just that, ang bigger concern natin, baka nag-stop na yung growth natin, yung momentum growth. That's, siguro sa akin, I'll be more concerned about that. Pero pagpasok kasi ng mga infra and everything, it's gonna drive it back up again.
So, wala pa, I didn't even mention that our debt to GDP, we keep borrowing. If our GDP slows down, what's gonna happen to our debt to GDP?
Lalaki. Yan ang problema natin. So lalaki
Isn't
yan.
that something to be concerned about?
Again, yes. That's why, again, this is the way to handle this is not only a monetary concern. Legislation, the executive should be able to do this. I mean, I think the economic managers of the president, they have, alam mo, ang dami nilang kailangan gawin. That's why you see their stand on federalism is totally against what the president is advocating. Kasi
It will cost billions of pesos.
siguro federalism, alam mo, you have to understand where we're coming from. Again, I'm not talking about a political concern, I'm talking more economic. Kasi is this really the answer, no? Or is it allocation among the distribution of the revenue budget? Kasi kung revenue budget lang problema nyo, they just allocate properly. Again, that's something that the local government's code, for me, is strong enough to be able to do this.
So, if you're long term, should they stay muna in cash right now or just keep on investing, keep on adding, or wait na muna until all of this
the thing is,
subsides?
Marvin, it is what I always try to tell people. Depende sa tao yan. Kung ikaw yung tipong tao, na pag hindi, kasi maraming tao hindi naman kaya mag-ipon ng cash eh. Diba? Pag may cash, gagastusin. Hindi naman lahat ng tao kamukha ni Marvin, no? Yung baon niya ng high school, intact pa hanggang ngayon. So, hindi ganon. So, kung ikaw, tipong makakonsumo yan, nagamitin mo yan, they might as well invest it. Kasi akit pa rin naman ang market eh. Now, if you're the kind of a person that can really save, you're kind of tao that talagang, your behavior is so strong, and your discipline is so strong, then maybe for some of you, or like what I do, some I still invest, but some when I wait until the market goes down, and then if I have extra money, I add. So ganun ako eh, parang I do cost averaging, not because it's the best strategy, it is because it's one that works for me. It's according to my behavior. I like it, and automatically I set aside money. And pero syempre, you know, I learned from Marvin also that when the markets do go on a correction, if I have extra money, I add on to these things.
But you
Then
keep
don't I
on
forget to
buying.
to diversify. And yan, kasi I mean I'm old, but I'm not that old. I'm still in the accumulation phase.
Okay.
So, you know, kunyari, retired na ako ngayon, probably iba na yung strategy ko. So, depende kung ano kaya, depende ano situation mo ngayon.
So,
Di naman ako mag-retire.
to summarize everything, there's risk in the economy, but nothing to be scared of.
Nothing to be scared of.
So, keep on
It's
investing.
part of what's happening. Pero syempre, do with due diligence. Now, it's a time to learn. Kaya we do these things, di ba Marvin? We do our seminars because we need to always teach people. Sometimes reading the newspaper may not be complete to show you the bigger picture. That's why conferences, seminars are always a good idea for us to be able to do this. Tapos syempre sa segue na ako. Kaya nga, you know, guys, we've always done Icon. Diba, I've done Icon 6 years. Marvin has worked with me in
2013,
Icon.
no?
Wow, 6 sessions, 6 icons already. And because of the effectiveness of Icon, that's why a lot of people are just to want to thank people who've been attending Icon, and thank you very much. That's why Icon is in a league of its own, not for yamang purposes.
Whoa!
But that's what people say. It's in a league on its own. Nobody can come close to it, no.
Whoa!
And that's because it features Marvin Guillermo, no. Yeah, the conference that launched Mr. Guillermo, the Marvin Guillermo. But kaya nga because of demand, because of request, that's why we're doing another Icon this year, but we're doing it in Davao. So the very first time we'll do an Icon Davao, featuring our friends, featuring the people who have helped us make Icon the way it is today.
Okay, so, do we say the speakers now?
Yan, sige.
Sige, Rex Mendoza,
Of course,
Dodong Kakanando,
Marvin, and me. Of course, the others are gonna join us again, but itong four, in a way, parang pillars na natin to sa financial advocacy, no? Si Dodong Kakanando, si Rex. By the way, Dodong is from Mindanao, so talagang may local flavor tayo. And of course, Rex is Rex.
Okay.
Sabi nga nila, Rex is Rex. And then of course, the reason why people go to Mark
No.
is this guy.
So you have stocks, personal finance, investing, and business and entrepreneurship. Then we will have real estate, crypto. Then we will have stock online trading also from our sponsors.
What they expect from Icon in Manila, they can now get it from
Mindanao.
So if you're in the Mindanao area, or even from Cebu, you might want to fly into Davao to attend a conference. No? So mga taga-Jensan, taga De Oro. I mean, I know it's not easy, but you might want to take that investment to attend October 13 pala yan. October 13 at SMX.
So
it's gonna be the biggest in Davao ever.
So if you want to learn more on how to maximize this economy, join us this October 13
May link yan somewhere. May link somewhere up, down. Marvin will take care of it.
in Icon 2018. So bye-bye everyone. Hope
Bye-bye.
this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. Bye-bye.